Hey guys, Trevor here, and today I'm going to talk to you about being a Lyft driver. So, Lyft has always been a really great ride sharing app platform for people that want to get around, and I tend to use it a lot more today than Uber, just generally speaking, because the drivers are usually more friendly. And as being a Lyft driver, you want to always focus on being friendly because that will get you 5 stars and usually more tips. Just talking to the passengers and giving them tips for getting around town, asking them questions, being friendly. If they have bags, helping them get the bags in and out of their cars, in and out of your car, and just generally speaking, driving them right up to the door, things like that. Those will tend to get you tips. Whereas, if you are just unfriendly, don't say much, don't help them with the bags, and don't drive them directly up to the door, you're probably not going to get a tip or a 5 star. So, it really depends on the rider. But being a driver, it's pretty easy to get started with Lyft. And all you have to do, I think they still have this, but back in the day when I signed up, you meet up with a actual person who does Lyft already. And so you can kind of talk to them about it, and they can get a feeling for you and make sure that you're the right kind of person to be a Lyft driver. Because Lyft wants to create a company that is a little bit more friendly and fun to take than Uber. They want to brand themselves that way, and they've done a really good job at it. So I drove Lyft for many years, and I enjoyed it a lot. And every single passenger that comes in the car is expecting a more enjoyable experience. So when you give that to them and come through, they're the type of person that really likes to use Lyft every single time. They'll use Lyft over Uber just because of that, even if it costs a little bit more. But lately, Lyft has actually been really competitive with their prices and has even cost a little bit less than Uber in a lot of places I've used it, especially with their new Lyft line. So as a driver, you have to keep in mind that Lyft doesn't exactly pay you more now than they used to, because back in 2-3 years ago, Lyft was a lot more than Uber. People were willing to pay that, but they had to become more competitive. So just understand that you might be making about the same price as you would with Uber, but I think you actually get a little bit better commission. I know when I was driving, I made 80-20 with Lyft and 75-25 with Uber. So you make a little bit more of the money, and you have a better chance of getting tipped. Uber now has a tipping feature in the app, but they didn't for a long time, and they even told the drivers not to tip. Whereas with Lyft, they always told their riders to tip, and people tipped a lot of the time, 10 to 20%. So it's really cool. Um, and it's not something you need to ask the rider to do, and you don't want to make it uncomfortable, but you just want to, give them an overall A+ experience on the ride. So getting signed up is really easy. Just install the app, sign up with Facebook, and sign up to be a driver. And they're going to ask you for your information on your car and your registration and insurance. And once you get that all put together, they'll do a little background check on you and make sure you're all good to go. And like I said, I'm not sure if they're still doing the actual personal meetups or not. But if they are, then you can go meet up with an actual Lyft driver and talk to them about how it works. So it's really easy, and the actual experience you need is very little. You just need to learn how to drive a car and know how to use it in city traffic, which is the most important thing. Especially if you live in a dense city and you're going to be driving people around, don't be afraid to change lanes and stuff like that. When somebody needs to get somewhere in a hurry, you don't want to have to go around the block a bunch of times just because you're afraid of traffic. So don't be afraid of traffic. Get in there, make the turns that you need to make, and people will understand. That's what driving is. And so yeah, if your passenger is in a rush, yeah, definitely just ask them about it. If they're going to the airport, hey, what time is your flight? What flight are you taking? What airline are you taking? These kinds of questions will help you provide a better experience for the rider. So besides that, I think that it's really good as far as a ride sharing app goes. And if you want to sign up for Lyft, you can use my coupon and actually get a special bonus. So I'll put a link in the description of this video below, and click that link and you'll definitely get a bonus. It varies sometimes, but it's usually at least a few $100s. So a few $100 is really nice to have in your pocket after the first few rides. And yeah, I can't recommend Lyft as a ride platform enough. Usually what I've done is I use Lyft and Uber at the same time. And just a little tip, there's another app that combines the two. So check this app out. It's called Maestro, Mystro, and download that, and then you can use Lyft and Uber at the same time, so you can make sure you're always getting jobs. Because sometimes Lyft is dead, Uber is busy, Uber's dead, Lyft is busy, so you kind of want to make the most of your time, especially if you're driving evenings or something like that and you just want to get the work done. So my last suggestion for you guys is, don't try to make it a full-time job. It's really not meant to be like that. It's meant to be part-time. Best thing about ride-sharing apps is that it's free to go on and off the platform anytime. So you get to choose your own hours. You get to take breaks whenever you want to. Back in the day, Lyft tried to have people on a schedule all the time, and that just was messy. And nobody likes to be on a schedule, especially when you're freelancing, and you're paid as an independent contractor on 1099. You're not an employee on a W-4, so you choose your own hours and you do ride by ride. Take breaks whenever you want to, eat food, go wherever you want to. I'm a skateboarder, so I like to go into the city, do a few rides, go, take an hour off and go skate for a little while and then do some more rides. That was kind of my thing. Didn't make as much money that way, but I really had a great time and it was worth it. So yeah, do whatever you guys want to do, but have fun with it. Make sure that you're making new friends, make some connections. If you meet somebody you really click with, don't be afraid to ask them to add them on Facebook or something like that and follow up with them. It's all about making friends as much as it is about making money, and getting people skills and stuff like that is really good too. So all right guys, go out there, click the link below, get signed up, and enjoy driving for Lyft. We'll see you out there.